Welcome back to my channel, Fixing It Up with Sandra. And in case you're new here, I'm Sandra. Today we are going to be making 4th of July candles, patriotic candles, Memorial Day candles, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be red, white, and blue. 3 different fragrances. So much fun, so cute. I cannot wait to make these. I made them last year. And my niece ever so graciously pointed out, Auntie, that's not red, that's pink, when I didn't put enough dye in the pink or in the red. So this year, I promise to make them as red as I possibly can. So we are waiting for the wax to melt. Look at my shirt. And the only reason why I'm showing this off is because if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I ordered from one of those many websites that pop up on your Facebook, like, oh, look at all these cute clothes. And then I did. And so I'm like, oh, good Lord, please let this be a legit website. Let these clothes come in that fit me. And they were true to size. So it says boat waves, sun rays, lake days, because if anybody knows me and of course follows my Instagram, you know that I live right across the street from the beautiful, beautiful Clear Lake, which is the oldest lake in North America, I believe. Look it up. Look up Clear Lake. Look at how much history there is here where I live. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to live. And so I always love bragging about it. Okay. I'm just going to be checking the wax's temperature to make sure that it's not too hot. And we are right on point. So today, like I said, we are going to be making 3 layers. You got to have plenty of paper towels. 3 layers for our 4th of July patriotic candles. And so I'm just getting a couple of paper towels. What I found over the years, I found these last year, and then I've, noticed them, throughout the year, and I grab them up when I can. So can you see? So there is Star Spangled Banner. I have like this squirrel mentality, squirrel. And so like, oh, say, can you see the star? That is like flag light. That's what I meant to say. And it is a ball mason jar. Super cute. This is why I want to do the 3 layers. I've already have my formula figured out. Members, if you need the exact formula or if you want the exact formula, I'll be sharing it in a post for you guys over on the community board. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do a layer of red, we're going to do a layer of white, and we're going to do a layer of blue. This does take some time because you have to let each layer cure, which is depending on the the room that they're curing in. I mean, it could take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. So before I would pour another layer on top of it is what I'm saying. Again, my opinion. Some people may do it a lot sooner. That's just what I do. And we're going to be using, for the first layer, for the red layer, we're going to be using Winter Cherries by Sierra Candles. Oh, I love this. This smells exactly like a red icy, like the one with the little bear. This smell takes me right back to my childhood, standing at the gas station machine, waiting to get one of those brain freezing, hurts your throat because you drank it too fast, slushies. So that is what this is gonna be. We are going to be doing a 10% fragrance flow, which is the most that this wax will hold, which is a 464 wax. And I'm going to do 3 candles. Of course, I'm going to point the camera down here in just a minute. And we're just going to go ahead and get started because everything's ready right now. So let's do this. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my 3 jars. I already have my formula figured out. I have my scale right here. I have my Presto pot on top of this metal piece right here. And so it's just, I'm able to pour directly into my container right here. The wax is heated up to a nice 190. People can choose their own temperature to heat it up to. I like to heat it up to 190. I have this time, and it's leaky, I'm going to be using the red liquid dye from Candle Science. And so I do want to say that we are working with a wax that is white. The 464 soy wax is a white wax. And so when you are mixing it with red or any other color, if you don't put it up, it's going to be that paler color because it's actually mixing with that natural color of white. So remember that when you go to make your candles, which, like I said, my niece ever so lovingly pointed out that my layers were pink. Okay, so now I've got this teared out. I'm going to go to my grams, tear it out. All right. I'm gonna pour our wax that's already been heated. This Presto pot is incredible. If anybody has thought about getting a Presto pot to heat wax up, or you're not familiar with it, I'm gonna be doing more candle tutorials where I'm gonna explain the Presto pot and its magic. Or we're just gonna get it up to the amount that we need. This is so awesome. I love this little handle. I'm able to pour exactly what I need. So just kind of get that. Now I need to get my fragrance oil. So I have a little cup right here. We're gonna tear this out. Throw my thermometer in there. Okay, there we go. Double check. It's a little warm, so I'm just gonna let it cool down for just a minute. I've got a fan right here, which helps. I am gonna put my color in, and depending on how, look at this. Oh, this is terrible. I should have worn gloves. Oh well. It's part of the business, right? So anyways, we're going to, oh, it's the squeezy top that I'm touching that's red. So I'm going to add in a few drops. Actually, let me get a little stir stick. I'll be right back. I want to pop into my closet. Right? Okay, and I got my little stir stick. I do realize that I don't have the wicks in here yet. I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. You still have time to add the wick while this is doing its thing. All right, let's see what color we end up with. I'm gonna take this out for just a second. Okay. I believe we've got a deep red here. Believe me, my niece will let me know if I don't. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add my fragrance oil. Give that a couple of stirs and wait till it gets a little cooler before we can pour. I like to pour about 130 just because because the wax shrinks as it's cooling, and that helps prevent from getting wet spots, although that happens. And wet spots is when the wax pulls away from the jar, so it leaves like a little spot. And there's nothing wrong with the candle. That's just how this wax works. I know a lot of people, they don't like that, especially when they're working with a clear jar. But it's just part of the business. It's just, if you're working with soy, that's just what happens. You can always put a pretty label over it, or, just, make peace with that. But I like to pour at a cooler temperature, like I said, around 130, to make sure that, I don't have as much shrinkage happening in the jar as possible. So now we're just gonna go ahead and add our wick. I'm gonna go do that, which is just my hot glue gun, and I have my wicks right here. I use a straw to help place the wick inside the jar. So this helps like push it down when my fingers can't reach, right? So easy, so awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these wicks into the container, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my wicks in. It takes just a couple of seconds. We're still a ways away from our wax being cool enough to pour. So you can use these wick holders. I buy them on Amazon. Let's see if this fits this mouth of the jar. You can do it this way. Sometimes like these don't work exactly how you want them to, but you can always do this. Just go to the dollar store, go get some skewers, break them in half, add a little tape. They're incredible. I have been using the same, I made these like 3 years ago, I believe, and they still work well. I want this to be a little tighter. There's nothing wrong with making a lot like doing stuff like this when it comes to candle making, because you know, this stuff can be expensive. You do not have to have professional ones unless you want like a set in case you're gonna do photos and whatnot. But when it comes down to it and you're like, dude, I just really wanna make a candle, there you go. Okay, so we have now reached the pouring temperature that I like. I'm gonna turn my little fan off. Okay. Now I'm gonna weigh out each layer because I want each layer to be even. So I'm gonna put this jar onto my scale, tear it out, meaning bring it down to 0. And we are going to pour to here's where I poured too much. All right, now I've poured too much. Try to sneak some out. And the reason why I have to do this is because the candle weight needs to be the exact same for each one. So these, I bought these because I've done this before. So I bought these like little things right here, and they're amazing. My cat is not happy that I blocked him out. Okay, there we go. Now I've got it. See, mistakes can happen and we can fix them. All right. Okay, so I do have a little bit of leftover wax. So I remember what each one was. Just add a little bit at a time. Now I just got just a tiny bit amount. We're just gonna go ahead and free pour. All right, now we're just gonna let this cool. We're gonna let this cool and then come back to it. and make sure that there's no sinkholes or anything like that. And get our second layer in, which is our white. And I'm gonna do vanilla. And so that'll probably be in the next like hour. So I'll see you guys again real soon. Gotta clean this out too. And the wax has hardened. And on this, I don't see any wet spots, so you don't see where the wax is trying to pull away from the jar. These all look really nice. See that? And yes, it's red. So now we're gonna do the white layer, which is gonna be vanilla, and I'm gonna be using the one from Candle Science. I really like this vanilla. So again, we've got our here. Let's put the camera down. All right, so we've got our little tub. We're gonna measure out our wax that we need. Okay. Just about there. Okay. So we have our wax that we need. Just gonna put this right there to catch any falling wax. And now we're gonna measure out our fragrance oil. So obviously there's no need to color this wax because it's already white. I love the soft smell of vanilla. It smells so good. And then the very last fragrance is gonna be blueberry, which I'm super excited about, which I believe I have. Yep, I've got it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and stir this. Check our temperatures. So this is something that, you know, can take all day long. Just hold on. Turn this off. So this is something that can take all day long to make. However, when it's done, it is going to be so cute. All right, and we're just going to let this wax cool down to the 130 temperature, and then we're gonna go ahead and pour. So we still got a ways to go, so I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so my middle layer, which is just gonna be the white wax that is not flavored, fragranced with vanilla, is ready for me to pour. So now we're going to go ahead and measure out what we need. That one right there. Thought my dog was doing something. I have to be very quiet because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess this up. All right, now we're gonna pour our very last one. Kind of straighten out this wick. Okay. Let's see what we've got. top these off. All right, guys, that is it for the second layer. Now we're gonna wait for this to cool, and then of course we're gonna come back again, and then we're gonna do our third layer. So I'm gonna let this sit for a couple of hours, and then we'll do the blueberry. Okay, guys, so we're back. I'm back with you guys for the third and final layer. So I'm just doing a little test. Look at that. And that is, like I said before, definitely not pink. So now it's time to put in our third layer, which is our blueberry, I always want to say flavor, but it's fragrance, which is called Blueberry Cobbler. And this is from Sierra Candle. I love this company. Their fragrances are so incredibly potent and true to the name. So if you guys are looking for anything for a fragrance company, this is also good for soap making. So I didn't use the blueberry in a soap yet, but this is where you can make soaps and candles with the same fragrance. So love that. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do again what we've done before. So camera's down, and we're just gonna weigh out our oil, and then, our wax, and then our oil, and pour. Okay, so now it's not too much wax left in here, so, and there's probably still some hard wax in the spout. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this and pour it in this way. So, pour that back up here. This is always the fun part when you go back and forth, especially if you're pouring like this. To get the right amount. Okay, that's where we're at. Tuck that over there. Now, we're gonna add coloring. So this time around, I'm gonna mix a little bit of this is from Eric with an X Light. You can find this on Amazon. This is what I originally would use when I would make candles. This is the coloring that I would use. I do like the dye chips. However, when I discovered the liquid dye through Candle Science, I also fell in love with that. Okay, I want to make sure that the chips are getting nice and broken down. I'm gonna add a little bit more to make sure that I really get this blue in here. Okay, now we're gonna add our fragrance oil. All right, we got blueberry. This is such a delicious smelling fragrance. All right, perfect. I'm gonna add that in here. Again, we're gonna mix. And then we're gonna watch the temperature on this. Just scraping the bottom to make sure that I get all of the chips dissolved in this, because I don't like it when it starts to spot on the wax. And if you've worked with dye chips, you know what I mean. All right, so we're gonna put that back. All right, we're gonna let this cool for just another moment, and then we're gonna pour. All right, here's the final pour. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna get my candles up here, and got my wax down to where I want it. I'm so excited. It smells incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It looks so good. Trying to see where I have it at. Okay, perfect. Oh my gosh. How cute are these candles? Oh my gosh, I can't wait for them to cure. Oh my gosh. Okay. I am so excited about this. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna change the view. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm seeing from here because it's so cute. You guys, look at that. Oh my goodness. The red is red, the blue is blue, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Oh my goodness. I feel like I just completed a marathon. All right, everyone, so it is the next morning. The candles have cured, and let me show you how they look. Oh my goodness. I love it. I wish this dark blue was maybe a shade darker, but that's okay. I still love it. It's still blue. Look at that. So now, okay, I'm gonna point the camera down so you can see all of the candles. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off. We're gonna trim the wicks. You wanna trim it down to about like 1/4 of an inch. Pop our tops on. Now there is frosting, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. Let me just pick up these jars with the blue. The frosting, see how there's like the white speckle? That's just typical with soy wax. It happens. There's nothing wrong with the candle. And to me, it adds a little bit of flair. So here, oh, there we go. There's our little star flag right there. And then this side is the ball. I'll put a warning label on the bottom, put something cute like 4th of July, put with the scents on top, and then call it a day. But how cute are these candles? I wish I could pick them all up, but I can't. I love them. All right, everyone, so that was the 4th of July candle tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys found it fun and informative. And if you did, give the video a thumbs up. As always, you know, if you want to subscribe, it's completely free and it totally makes my day because the subscriptions help me continue to do what I'm doing. And I want to keep showing you guys how to do all kinds of different candles. I have a lot more in store, and so you're going to be seeing a lot more of that. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask. I want everybody to make 4th of July candles. And this is going to smell so good, you know, because it's going to burn through the blueberry, the vanilla, and this cherry. Oh, you get 3 candles in one. How cool is that? So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again in my next tutorial.